Going into 2021, there is a camera that shoots 4K 60 in 10-bit with an APS-C sensor, and you can get it for $850 used. That's the Fuji XT3. And recording this is the Fuji XT4, which is about $1,700 new, and you really can't find it used. So a lot of people are wondering, and I'm sure you are wondering, should I buy the XT3 or the XT4? And I'm gonna tell you my personal decision for buying the XT4 and using it over the XT3, but I'm also gonna break down a few of the most important differences. So let's go at this as quickly as we can. The first big difference is the price. And I am not a proponent of debt, and I make money off of you buying from my affiliate links, but I still would encourage you to think hard about whether or not you should spend the extra $1,000 to upgrade over the XT3 to the XT4. After that, it's a matter of features. And if you need some of these features, then you'll have to upgrade to the XT4 and spend that money. But if you don't need these features, this is still an incredible camera that I love to use for professional work. So let's dive into those features, and I'll tell you the ones that made it or broke it for me. I'm gonna read here from my list of the differences. The sensor is the exact same, so you shouldn't see any difference in color or low light. And then the other features are IBIS, the flippy screen, dual card recording, the battery life, the stills and the movie switch, 240 FPS, headphone jack versus USB dongle, 2 film simulations. That's it. There's really not that many differences between these two cameras, and most of those are not a big deal for me. As I went through this list, on my mind was IBIS. You just cannot put IBIS in a body, and you can't replace it unless you talk about adding a gimbal, which gets expensive and it gets more difficult in your workflow while shooting, in my opinion. And then the flip screen, which I could buy one of those little mirror things for the top of the camera to reflect my display, but that just seems like an awkward workaround for me. And then the dual card recording, which may come in a firmware update someday, but it seems unlikely and I can't bank on that. So I had to buy the XT4 for the dual card recording for me shooting out in the field a lot, whether it's adventure or it's weddings. I just need the dual card recording. It's incredibly important. And I could buy a Ninja 5, which I did. And then again, you just start building out the camera to be a little bit bigger. And some people might like that, but I wanted a smaller run and gun setup. And then with the Ninja 5, it just starts to add a little bit more to your workflow. And then the battery life, you can just throw a battery on top of this. And I've had that happen. I've done that multiple times with different rig setups and things, and that does not add very much size or weight to this camera. Or I just put a little USB charger in my pocket and I run it right to the camera when it needs charged. So for me, the battery life on the XT4 being better was not a game changer for me. I was okay with the XT3 battery. I would just carry 2 batteries around with me if I needed them. So I really didn't mind. And then after that, the stills and the movie switch. Having a little bit better menu system was an added bonus, but it wasn't necessary for me with the XT4. And then the 240 FPS, the quality isn't great, and I really don't ever need that much slow motion. But if you need that much slow motion and you're shooting out in daylight and maybe delivering in 1080, the 240 is probably fine, but that just wasn't a need for me. And then the headphone jack versus the USB dongle, I never really use the headphone to monitor the audio in camera. I would rather just record better audio than these are usually putting out. But I would prefer the headphone jack of the XT3, honestly. And then the 2 film simulations, I never use them. So that's it. For me, when it came to buying, it was a no-brainer because I needed the IBIS and I needed the dual card recording. The flippy screen was an added benefit for me, and the battery was an added benefit, but both of those I could have just worked around in very affordable ways and very easy ways. But the IBIS and the dual card recording, there was just no affordable, easy workarounds. And those are both incredibly important for me. So that's it. That's why I chose to upgrade the XT3 to the XT4. And that might be why you want to as well. Ultimately, I can't make that choice for you, but I can tell you that the XT3 is still a dream to use, and going into 2021, it's still an incredibly relevant camera. That said, the XT4 moving forward is gonna have a few of those key features that will continue to be a gift that keeps on giving, like a bigger battery, like IBIS, like a flip screen if you choose to start recording yourself or prefer to have a little bit more versatility when recording at different angles. And so those are the differences. I hope that this video is helpful for you. Your decision is not an easy one with these two cameras because they're so similar, the price is so different, and you just might need one of those features and you just might have to pay for it. So that's it for this video. I hope that you found it helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.